I started BRUHDAD because I ain't have a roadmap. I ain't had nobody to talk to about nothing. Had to figure out 500 things all at once. Like, for one, when you have so much going on, you forget that your kids are watching you. If you have kids. And if you don't, you have your siblings. And if you're just by yourself, the world's watching you. The world's judging you. You see how it's always something. And, not coming from that family that has those family traits and dynamics, you're by yourself. You know, you're by yourself. You got nobody to call, nobody to talk to. You don't know what a therapist is because it's like I'm paying a stranger to talk about my personal life and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of things just don't make sense about life. Between me and you, everything don't make sense about life. But we gotta live, right? And some of us don't even think we're living, we're just existing, which is crazier. Which is crazier because it's like, then what's the point of life? What's the point of all of this? You know what I mean? Because the mass majority of people don't have people. Not one person. I'm grateful and thankful for the ones that I got, you know. But then again, through everything that I've experienced, I had nobody, you know? Nobody I could pick up, call, text. For an example, I'm married and I've been married 7, 8 years in a relationship, 10 plus, right? But with that being said, when I met my mother in law didn't meet my mother. You know what I mean? When I met my father in law, he didn't meet no man. You see what I'm saying? It's just me. And there's a lot of things that I saw that I never had, bro. And I had to figure out, damn, why my life so wrong? Cause this whole time I've been trying to get right. But it seems like error after error after error after error, failure on top of failure on top of failure on top of failure. And it's like, how we gonna get right with this? How can we make something happen with the bare minimum? You know what I mean? And I mean, to answer that, I finally found God. I finally found the faith and all of these things. But when you're born, you're not asked to be here. I didn't ask to be here. My kids ain't asked to be here. The people before me made a mistake. I end up making similar mistakes because they couldn't correct it. They couldn't figure it out. So now I'm here stuck in the rain, literally stuck in the rain by myself, trying to figure all this. My pain and frustration turned into anger and more aggression day after day. There was days, weeks, months, years where I was angry every single day because I'm seeing everything around me move. I'm seeing everything around me happen. You know what I'm saying? For other people that had families to figure it out. But me and you, we don't have those things. We don't have that support. And in this world, men, come on, bro. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. From the system to this, to the broken home, it's just failure on top of failure. And then the world expects us to figure it out. Me and you. They expect us to figure it out and have it all figured out. Know what credit is, know what investments is. But bro, we don't even know how to deal with our own emotions. And for a long time, I had no emotions because of the things I've experienced in life. You know, if a mother has a child, that child should be surrounded in love. But what if you never had that? You know what I'm saying? What if you've never had these talks and these walks in life with anyone? Who do you trust? Who do you go to? Who do you talk to? What do you do? I didn't know what emotional intelligence was, but I know what pain was. I know what frustration was. And I'm talking about years of built up frustration, not just I'm pissed off today and I'm going to let it go. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong now, there were some things I just let go because I'm telling you, when I said I ain't care, I didn't care about myself. I ain't care about you. I ain't care about them. I ain't care about nothing. Because all of these people that I once cared for and all these things I once cared for ain't care about me. And it's crazy because I remember being 14, 15, thinking like, damn, all these people I got around me, they're for me. Then I turned 16. Life just like the stock market crashing. That was literally just me spiraling out of control. Cause I didn't know all these things. All these things was just, it's time to be the man in the house. I come from a broken home. There was never nothing established. You know what I'm saying? For an example, my grandmother raised me. Thank God that I had her. You know what I'm saying? But then again, my grandmother is only satisfied with a roof being over our head. Whether it was a condo, an apartment, a duplex, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be grateful. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, I was very grateful. You know what I'm saying? Because there was times where we was outside in the rain, like I was just telling you. And this ain't no play. I wish I can come on here and tell you, ooh, boy, we've been riding Bugattis and Ferraris and Lamborghinis since I was 2. Nigga, that's just not reality, homie. For me and you, that's not reality, bro. We won't come from that. You know what I'm saying? The things that I'm experiencing now with my son, I've never experienced that with my sperm donor. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I've never had a relationship with these individuals. Never. And what's crazy was everybody expected me to go chase these things, me to go after them. I got to go find you. I ain't asked to be here. You feel what I'm saying? You ain't asked to be here. You ain't asked to suffer. I ain't asked to suffer. But we were given these cards, and these are the cards we were dealt. So this is how we got to play our game. Me and you going through this. For what? Because y'all couldn't get y'all shit together? It just baffles me now that I'm an adult and I had to go through 10 years of my life that I can't get back because I didn't have these things in order. I didn't know they were supposed to be in order. I didn't know if you get a house in Florida, there's such thing as renter's insurance. You got to pay insurance on top of this, on top of this, on top of this. Bro, what? And then when I call y'all for something, y'all don't help me. What the fuck am I paying y'all for? What am I paying you for? If I get in a car accident and somebody hit me and take off, I'm getting charged a deductible because I need y'all to do what y'all supposed to do. What I've been paying y'all years for. I got to pay y'all more money just for y'all to help me figure this out. Bro, what? What? Just to go in the policy, you got to pay what I've been paying y'all for. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's mind game after mind game, puzzle after puzzle, piece after piece. And it's like not having somebody to walk with you. You know what I'm saying? All my friends, Mind you, I was the little homie. I was the little one that looked up and grew up around people that was way older than me. When I was 5, my uncle was 11, 13, my auntie 15. My surrogate had me at 15. See what I'm saying? If you can see what I'm saying. Me and you, very similar. Now, it don't matter where you at. You got to understand, regardless of all these things, you got to figure out if you can overcome all of these challenges mentally, because the strength comes from within. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me give you a little example, man. You know, we all going through things in life. We're all experiencing many different things. And it's unfortunate. It really is. But you got to remember, we're all holding weight. This is weight. Now, this is just an analogy of what we're going on. Imagine having this on top of your motherfucking head every single day. You waking up with migraines, frustration, anger, hurt, and you can't let this shit go. You can't drop this weight. This is not light, bro. This is not light. You know, you don't have to work out to be strong. You know what I'm saying? People work out because it's a therapy. And it really is. It's therapy. But why do we got to go through these things? Especially with no help, with nobody to call on, but with everybody to judge us. You know what I'm saying? For a long time, I used to care what people used to think, what people used to say, until I realized that my whole life, my family has talked about me. You know what I'm saying? People that I thought was friends was not my friends. You know what I'm saying? A girlfriend that I thought was my girlfriend was not my girlfriend. A man that I thought was my father and my dad was never my dad. A woman that pushed me out and I thought was my mother was not my mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is traumatizing. But me and you got to figure out a way to deal with it. Me and you got to figure out how to get with it. Get with the program, because ain't nobody bigger than the program. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, we still holding all this weight. Still holding all this weight. See what I'm saying? Like, you can't let it go. You can't, because now it's a part of you forever. But once you develop these mental strengths and these skills, you find ways to get stronger and stronger, and you push through it. You push through it, because it comes to a realization, all you got is you. That's all you got is you. Nobody else. Luckily, for me and you, we got God. And because I got God, you now have me. And I'm going to be with you through it all. You know what I'm saying? When you get evicted, when your credit down bad, when your car break down on the side of the road, when you going through it with your baby mama, when you going through it in marriage, you got me. And I'm going to be able to help you. And you got to understand that everybody going to talk about you. But what they not going to tell you is when you doing wrong. When I was young, I grew up around negativity. That was consuming me, boy. Darkness was consuming me. The devil was on me. I had monkeys, gorillas, everything on my back. Know what I'm saying? Attached to me that I didn't even understand. Didn't even understand. But going through all this is what transitioned me from being the boy to the man. Because I didn't know how to do that for the longest. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know there was a such thing as the worldly life and the godly life. I didn't know when you get married, because ain't nobody, like I told you, I'm the first one experiencing a lot of things. And when you get married, you die to yourself. Your wife died to herself. And y'all are reborn together, which is more weight on top of more weight on top of more weight. And you gotta be the man to figure all this out. You can't be emotional. That's what your woman there for. She gonna be emotional. And it's up to you to help her through this. Cause she gonna be moody. She gonna catch attitudes. She gonna be insecure. But you don't match that energy. You correct it. How do you do that? By correcting yourself. That's how you do that. By taking the time to correct yourself. Fix you. Everything that you've been taught is likely BS. Just like me. Forever. For years I've been holding weight. For years. Real weight. Not no little boy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand. Ain't nobody here to help you but God. And when I realized that, He was watching over me this whole time. I just didn't know. I didn't know how to find it. I didn't know how to search. You know, for some people, they think it's just common sense. Like, man, you're supposed to know this. How do you not know this? How do you know it? Know what I'm saying? Then somebody show you. Then somebody tell you. Then somebody put you on. Because ain't nobody put me on. Know what I'm saying? Just me, by myself, through everything, through fights, through life. You know? And that's why I started BRUHDAD. Because I realized it's a lot of young men that was just like me, holding weight. And it's attached to them, dragging them down, bringing them down. This our first time living, bro. This our first time living, you know? And if you do it right, this won't be our last time living. You know? Forever life. And it's like, regardless of whatever, God's there. And God's with you. But you have to see these signs. You have to know. And how do you know? By educating yourself, by paying attention, by staying off the drugs. Stop drinking. Stop abusing things. You know, I'm not going to tell you I'm perfect because I'm not perfect at all. And I had to learn how to look myself in the mirror and realize how fucking ugly I got. You know, as a young man, I used to think I was so handsome until life showed me how ugly we got to get sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And for a long time, I stopped looking at myself just because I ain't care no more. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know how to do these things. And I'm not capping. This is no cap. This is real life weight, real life conversations. Things that I had to push myself through with no help, with no support. You know, if it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't have another man to call. I wouldn't have her mama to call. You know what I'm saying? It just be me. It just be me. You know? And it's like, it's some young dudes out here that need somebody. And I'm letting you know right now, bro, you can call me directly. You can email me directly. And I'm being so thorough and authentic with this because I'm really trying to help people. I'm really trying to help you in a better direction. Cause we ain't gotta flip nothing no more. Know what I'm saying? We could do everything the righteous way. We ain't got to take risks. We ain't got to risk our freedom no more. It's plenty of other ways to do this while still holding this weight that's attached to us. You see what I'm saying? One thing for sure, two things for certain. You got me and we got God. And this is no cap. This is why I started BRUHDAD. And we gonna keep pushing through everything. You know, different conversations. Overall, everything about life, relationships, people, family, friends, food, better habits. Because when I was young, my grandma drank Pepsi and my uncle sold Coke. And this is no joke. Being a little boy, being around these older adults that don't got it figured out, but they doing the best that they can with what they got. You understand? And being already off to a wrong start, you have to unlearn these bad things to be able to learn again. You have to unlearn to relearn what you need to know. You understand? There's some things that I was given a bad spoon, a whole mouthful, feeding me BS, thinking that that was okay to live that way, to do these things, to mistreat and abuse things and people and places. That's not okay. And you don't want to be in those spaces. You don't want to be in a dark room. I was in a dark room for a long time. Very, 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 very long time. And the only way I was able to pull myself out of that was through God. Without knowing that this man was helping me all along. Not knowing that this was my only father that I have ever known, that I have ever had. You know, life ain't sweet, but it's still a gift though. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, somewhere where we have never gone, it's beautiful. You know, life is so easy going. You don't got fake people around you. You don't got people trying to snake you. You know what I'm saying? It's some things you ain't got to worry about at all once you get up out of that dark room, once you get up out of that space. You know what I'm saying? And nothing is going to happen overnight. Believe that. Believe that. But that's where that mental strength comes from. Pushing, 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 pushing every single day. Challenge yourself, because the only way you're going to improve is by giving every single day the best of you, 1% at a time, not 100%. You know, even in marriages and relationships, sometimes it's 50-50, sometimes it's 70-30. But the relationship starts with you believing in you, that you can obtain these things. Mental strength. If you want to get strong, physical strength. You want to be fast, run, put some weights on you. Whatever it is, regardless, we all have a run in life. And it all starts in here.